What? What? Well, no, your mic is connected. Are you? Is there like a machinery nearby? Are you running a blender? You making some smoothies? No, no, it's the right mic. It just wasn't being canceled noise wise. There was at least from my end. Maybe they were spared, but I doubt it.
Hello? Okay. My microphone
Yeah.
wasn't selected for Streamlabs. Do I sound fine now, though, to you?
Oh, you've sounded fine to me the whole time.
Great.
But it was like, so maybe they didn't hear this. It sounded like there was equipment being run. Is it like an AC?
Yes, that is my AC unit running in the background.
Where is it?
It's in the window back there.
Oh, 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 you shifted to the spot you were at before. It's fine. I believe you. I'm not gonna.
It's right here. It's literally right here.
What is? That's a blue thing. What do you look? What?
It's in this window. It is where my finger is, but in the background.
In the window behind your physical body. So I believe it's there. I just don't see it.
You don't. It's right here.
I think you're showing a different camera, and you're not paying attention to this Discord.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. You have a different camera. You have a different camera. I forgot.
I do.
It's for you. It's right here.
There it is. Yeah, that's okay. We got it. I believe again. I believed that it existed. I've seen it. But although to be fair, whenever I saw it, it was not in a window. There's a whole saga.
It got in the window eventually, okay? My girlfriend set it up for me.
She is very, very helpful. That's true.
She is.
We would love and appreciate her.
I don't know what I would do without Baja. Speaking of which, chat, good news. Baja and I finally found a place to live where we can live together, which is good. So we will be doing that soon.
Right. She is banned from this house.
That's true. That's true.
But laws is laws. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
No blasting in this here's house.
And then Alex is moving in here, and I'm gonna become the worst thing imaginable, a landlord.
I'm sure there's a better way. Maybe you could be like a land queen.
Okay. Yeah.
That seems like better.
I'm a landlady. How dare you, sir?
That sounds. For some reason it both sounds fancy, but also it's like real close to lunch lady. So it sounds like you're underpaid.
I am a landlady. I get paid 70 cents on the dollar of a landlord, which
My
I
mom
think
was a lunch lady for a minute.
That makes
can't imagine
more...
that was fun.
No, kids are the worst. Kids are terrible. Don't ever work at a school. Terrible. Don't help. Yeah. Don't help develop the young minds of children. They're garbage.
Nope, I quit teaching.
You barely started before you quit.
You're damn right I did. You don't look. Hey, oh, there's a tornado on the horizon. I'll just drive straight toward. No, you go the other way. You go the other way. Underpaid, overworked, not appreciated, shootings, COVID. Didn't see that coming, but did see the other stuff.
You'd make a terrible storm chaser. The whole goal is you got to drive towards the tornado.
Well, yeah, that's what teachers are for. Storm chasing. I'm not about that life.
Like Bill Paxton.
There are very... I don't know which one it is. It's a good shot. There's a 50. I thought Paxton was the... No, one of them's dead. I don't know which one.
Are they? It's only one of them dead. Which one? Which Bill is alive?
We don't... We have literally had this conversation maybe 4 times.
I know.
And we won't remember.
No.
Next time
it's irrelevant. They're people that could slot into each other's roles.
They're not even they're not related. They have nothing in common except for the name Bill and being white men. And still I can organize the Baldwins better.
Let's see. Paxton! We're talking Paxton.
Paxton's dead.
Is he?
Gotta be.
Yeah, he's the dead one.
Alright. R.I.P. Bill Paxton. Pullman, you're all we got.
Yeah, Pullman did Independence Day.
Wait, what? Yeah, he did. There he is. Yeah, he's the
president.
I was so the other guy was the Twister guy?
Yeah.
But I thought that was the same guy. Alright. I don't know why this happens. I'm so sorry. The Pullman estate. Paxton estate. I've already forgotten. It doesn't. Yeah.
He should have changed it. One of them needed to take the hit and go by William. Let's be real. One of them needed
take the hit. I don't know from what.
So what else has been going on? You watch any good chuds lately?
Chuds?
Yeah.
No, I watched a good show though. No chuds are good.
Okay.
I haven't watched a single chud that I've been like, yeah, I'm pumped about this. Well, okay, wait. We'll do a chud for. I have successfully started a man off with Dave.
Oh God, I fucking hate Dave.
That's why
Are you still doing the save Dave thing?
Save Dave?
Yeah.
Crush Dave. He's accepted a challenge that he should not have accepted.
Okay, what's the challenge?
I told him because it was partly Save Dave, right?
Yeah.
And partly because I am a competitive loser. So, competitive winner, more like. Because he made a video that was like, I'm making some changes. Are you with me through these changes? And it was kind of like he said it wasn't a cry for help, but he said that while he was drunk. In a review of my review of that, which is hilarious because he loves doing that. But in the video, which was short, and I don't think it was even like a bad video. He didn't do any content. He was basically saying to his community, whatever word you want to use for that apparatus. Community seems strong. Hey, I'm not going to be drinking as much in videos. Are you going to fucking leave if I stop drinking in videos? And there was, I know, and a bunch of people, which, first of all, is a weird insecurity to have.
Yeah.
Like, people only like me because I'm drunk is a fucking red flag to me. Nobody likes you when you're drunk. Number two, his entire comment section was like, well, yeah. Like, I don't care. Sure, we'll watch. And so, I was like, Dave, this is great. I'm really happy for you. I made a joke about his thinning hair, and then I make a joke about my own widow's peak, and then said, "Hey, like, I know we butt heads, but maybe we have to decide who the bigger man is to decide like who like end this beef, squash it.
Who's
really.
The top?
Me, but so I've decided that I was already running. I was already getting back on the treadmill because my back is now like 95, and now I can actually do it without dying. And so I've been doing that, and so I said, like, okay, starting from the date he accepted, which was the 19th, so 10 days ago, which I didn't know about until 4 or 5 days ago. But so I didn't start counting against him. But I am now logging every mile against him. I'm only at 2.8 right now. I got distracted last night. I was going to run 2 last night, but Sarah distracted me. So now it's happening today. But yeah, so he's going to get buried. I'm going to destroy him. I don't know where he's logging miles, if he's even doing it. He said he was going to, but I'm just going to do it. And I'm going to constantly rub it in his face.
I hope your spite exercise goes well for both of you. That's a weirdly constructive way to be.
I was using
weirdly competitive.
I used toxic masculinity for positive masculinity, which brings me to my next thing. I watched a really amazing TV show that I think everyone should watch. Genuinely, I think it's a really great show. It's called Ted Lasso, and it's on Apple TV, which I didn't have. You have to have like a unit for it. But Alex got it, and he came over and was like, "Hey, I got this Apple TV thing, and there's lots of good shows on it apparently, but based on reviews." And Ted Lasso just won a bunch of Emmys and stuff. And it's got Jason Sudeikis in it and a bunch of other people, but was it Juno Temple or something? But Jason Sudeikis is in it, and I gotta be totally honest, I have never witnessed a piece of media marketed towards me that has ever been positive in the way that this is positive.
Okay.
And I need everybody to watch it. I tried to explain this to Sarah, who didn't watch it with us. We sat there and watched like an entire season, which was about 10 episodes, and then the first episode of season 2 that was out. And like, as a man, most things that are oriented towards us, we are very, very represented, obviously. But most things have like when they're man shows, they're like a specific thing, and it's like it's got like negativity to it in a way that's sort of like subtle, where they like banter and like I don't know. It's a whole show about like, here's a bunch of men. He's a coach that goes to coach soccer overseas, it's barely about soccer. It's just an apparatus to put men in a space together. And then those men all have problems, and the men help each other. And there's women, too, that have problems, and it's a good thing. But it's mostly focused on, like, hey, we don't have to be shit all the time. Look at how positive we can be. And Ted Lasso, played by Jason Sudeikis, who always plays a sardonic asshole, is the most wholesome, like, genuinely non-cheesy, wholesome, just nice person. And he's got his own problems. He goes through marital issues, but it's all like, I could tell a bunch of people that have gone to therapy wrote this show. It's genuinely a really fantastic show, and I don't think there's a single person who could watch this and not take something positive out of it. I was so surprised. I expected something totally different going into it, and I think it's genuinely, like, I don't know, like, it's got so much fucking good feels in it. Everyone should watch it. It's so good. I can't stress enough. It's like probably the best show I've ever seen from a comedy. It's super funny. It's so nice. I was
gonna make a comment about consuming media from a giant evil corporation like Apple, and then I remembered that my living room was full of Marvel merchandise. Yeah. So, yeah, we're
I felt a little icky about it too, but I wasn't buying it, so I was like, well, fuck it. I guess we'll see what Apple TV has to offer. I assumed it was gonna be dog shit. Not the show specifically. I figured that it won Emmys. I figured it was probably gonna be pretty good. Like I was thinking, like Office level, better than The Office.
I find that hard to believe, but I'll check it out.
I mean, from a specific. Okay, maybe not. Okay, if you're trying to, I don't know. Maybe it is better than The Office. Because it has like recency bias, but there's also like times change, and like just where the zeitgeist is as far as like how we are socially.
I would think that
I really feel like Ted Lasso is really great.
Let's call it cultural inflation. If you take cultural inflation into account and relatively look at the popularity, not even the popularity, the quality of the show.
Office is way more popular.
The quality of the shows relative to their respective periods. I don't know. I'll have to check it out.
The quality of the show?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good. It is really good.
Okay.
Yeah. Is the background corn and tinfoil? It is, yeah. Yeah. I hope people have noticed that. It's been subtle, but yeah, it's there.
Did you finish Loki, by the way?
I did. It was really nice. I like that. I like where they're headed with it, and I really love the I don't want to spoil it, but the guy at the end that's featured in the big conversation.
I'm excited to see him again. I assume he'll be popping up. That's the implication. So
yeah, I hope so. But he was in what's the Cthulhu guy?
H.P. Lovecraft.
He was in
Lovecraft County or whatever it was. Lovecraft.
Yeah, Lovecraft County. Yeah, he was in that, and it was really good. But I think he was better than this. Lovecraft County is like, well, he was really good in Lovecraft County, rather. I didn't really care for Lovecraft County. I think it goes too quick. Although I stopped, and some people say it's really good. But it was like, it went like 400 miles an hour after the second episode, and I was not prepared. And it sort of it didn't burn in the way that felt satisfying. But he did a good job. In fact, all three of the main actors did a really fantastic job in that show.
Yeah. Excited for season 2, but
so did you finish? Wait, I was talking about Lovecraft County.
But sorry.
Also Loki. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen Lovecraft County?
Oh, I heard the first episode is good, but I heard some people say it falls off.
It does fall. Okay, so yeah, so people have probably the same feel I do. They do have good acting in it, but yeah, Loki specifically, I think. There were some people that were mad about, like, the, again, I don't want to get... Okay, possible spoilers for Loki. You've had time.
Are we talking about the romance? Let's just call it the romance.
Like the most Loki thing ever would be that.
Not only that, but I don't even find it that weird. They're not really blood related.
Doesn't matter.
And they're not... It's not like they knew each other growing up. People have referred to it as self-cessed, and I find that to be questionable. They're basically entirely different people.
In the same way me touching my own dick to completion is self-cessed.
I wouldn't even call it that. They're different people who happen to have been slotted into very similar roles in their respective universes. They're not the same person.
If I could meet another me, and I touched his wiener. Is that bad or unethical? I don't think
I find it interesting that even though in the scenario we're talking about it was a gender-switched variant, in your scenario it's a same-sex variant.
It could be gender-switched too, which would be better for me personally.
You keep saying you're straight, and I don't believe you.
I'm not attracted to me, but I don't know, just the idea of it doesn't make me go, ew, icky ethicals. It makes me go, ew, icky pee-pee. I can only touch my pee-pee.
Okay, Jake, a variant of you appears in front of you.
Is it a lady?
It's a dude.
No.
No?
I'm not. I mean, we might get along. Probably not, though. We probably won't get along.
Sarah's out of town and will be for the next month.
Do you think? Wait. Do you think I'm not touching dude wiener because it's like embarrassing?
No, you're desperate in this case. You're desperate.
Oh, I'm just down bad. Just down bad.
You're pent up. And you have no other options for some reason. You shows up and you're like, let's do a little mutual sucky. No?
Mutual?
Not at the same time necessarily.
I could maybe mind over matter a very one-sided affair. Maybe. But only because it's me. And I don't know if that's even... the variant me might have to shave. I'm very prickly and it would put me out of the mood. Andrea Butella. This is off topic now. I'm way behind on MCU, and I've gotten spoilers from that guy at the end of Loki from absolutely everywhere. Also, I voted for Kodos. Wait, what's that? What's Kodos?
It's a Simpsons reference. There was a Kang...
I'm glad you know. I don't...
Kang and Kodos ran for president. They're aliens, and then they...
Jake was Pan. What? Wait. Wait. No, I am tragically straight. Like, tragically so. I have opined about wishing that weren't the case, because I do. It's just not.
I feel like it would open up your options. I only found out like
recently
because of I think Sarah posted it on Twitter that you guys are in an open relationship. Do you know how much you would fuck if you? Do you know how much you would fuck if you were into whatever? I'm just saying.
That's what I'm. No, but that's like the point, right? Like, man. Yeah, no, it's just not in me. I don't know. Maybe someday, but it's not now.
You could at least get your own Catboy harem. Sarah has one.
It doesn't turn me on, man. I don't know. It's just like not one of my things. It's just a bummer. Sorry. I guess. Femme folks only. Yep.
Tara says Jake has such lovely pink lips today.
So we were talking about that before this. Something about the camera. Wait, let me see if. Hold on. It's making me feel real pink. Like it looks like I'm wearing something, but I'm not. But
I am.
We were talking about that before.
Jake looks like he's wearing lipstick exactly as much as I am, and I am.
Let me use my. No, I look normal in my this camera. This camera, yeah. But. I don't know, in here I'm very, very voluptuous. It's whatever. We're just gonna go with it. I'm not gonna... What we're gonna do? Change the settings on this? Nah. Ooh, I think I'm gonna go to the weed store today.
What are you gonna get?
That. I don't know. What should I get? Thank you. I'm glad that you think I look beautiful today. Lovely pink lips. Get some weed, maybe. Maybe! What is this song?
This is Montage by Harris Heller. Available on Spotify.
Harris Heller does do the good stream beats. So if you're looking for DMCA free music, there it is. Oh, yesterday we did... so... You know, in the D&D campaign that we were playing with another person at one point. Mm-hmm. We had another DM, and I was a player for a while.
Yeah.
And then we had to... this is just mostly for them, not for you. You know the story. But basically, we weren't having fun. Everyone asked me to DM. That guy really didn't like that. I don't necessarily blame him. But he wasn't... We talked to him many times. He didn't make any changes. And it wasn't very fun. So I ended up taking over that campaign. And so we changed it.
It's so weird. I love that you basically mutinied a D&D campaign.
We wanted to play the character still, and obviously, I think, I'm decent at it, and I didn't want to, we were all. The reason we were playing is so that we didn't have to bury the characters, basically, right?
Yeah.
Not because we were having fun, and that felt bad, and so I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. Okay, because they'd asked me multiple times, and they're like, "Will you just do this?" I'm like, so I killed my own character for them, and
it's okay. He's working for death now, wasn't he? Last time we saw him,
he was always working for death.
Okay,
yeah. He was working for the Raven Queen, who is the goddess of the moment of death, which is kind of expanded lore, I think, in general D&D, but which is really cool. It's a cool character, but so there was basically this friction between like his setting, which sucked, and the setting that I adapted it to, which is just the broader world that we play in with the campaign that you're in and the campaigns that you're in. So there was like a disconnect. There's sort of this like fuzzy sort of like, did it happen? Did it not happen? Because it's out of canon, kind of. And so we have been able to go back with supplementary stuff, which is what I was doing yesterday. And go back to like sort of level 3 stuff and sort of re-adjudicate important sort of origin story things. And it's been a lot of fun. It's sort of like doing D&D prequels, which is super interesting. Like, it got me thinking, like, the idea of like, because Professor technically has like this little gap of time when she like zooped forward, and then so I think there
was like a 10-year period between that.
Yeah, that's what we decided, but we never really talked about. We just sort of talked about like you kept like kind of like having daily amnesia and just sort of like moving through. But I think it's kind of interesting. I don't know. We could do something like that at some point if you ever want to revisit the Professor for one shots or something. Like, what happened here? And there's just some random people. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. It was more fun than I thought it was going to be. Because it was like, I don't know, sort of weird nostalgia for someone you're also playing just like currently. So it was, and I got to play my character as well with Molus. They really liked that he was back.
Molus was on the first one. The first time I DM'd, Molus was on the Hartnell, right? I pulled.
Molus is crazy. He's a good guy. He's not.
The Jake, the Jake D&D cinematic universe.
It's kind of becoming that. That's kind of what they are, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I wouldn't consider it just my universe. It's from my philosophy behind it. I would consider it ours. But yeah.
I'm also technically doing a live, which is in that universe, just in its own separate thing.
Yeah. And I think it's fun. I think it's super fun. I like not having all the control about that shit. I don't need. It's too much to remember. I like here's your pocket. You can play in that, and then we'll figure it out. We'll all do it together. I think it's.
Speaking of which, I'm hoping next week we can do another episode of Alive, because the last episode ended on you guys got a very powerful game.
We've been talking about that for like 2.5 weeks.
Have you guys discussed what you want to do with it? I need to ask you, actually. It would help to know if you had any plans.
No fucking clue.
Because I didn't know if you were going to, like, try and open a... I think you guys can cast Gate, and, like, if you guys are going to cast...
We're level fucking, 5? I don't want to go there. So it's like, it's like, I think it's a situation where definitely Cal doesn't want to do magic stuff.
Yeah.
He doesn't want... Then that's super high magic. He is very happy to just have the thing, and there's a piece of him that knows it's kind of a parachute if you gotta jump out of something, and he's willing to take the parachute, but he's very unwilling to get into a plane and jump out of it. So it's good to have that, if that ever happens. I think the only one that is really gung-ho to do anything fucking dumb is Sirloin. But I think Val wants to use it to fuck up the Institute a lot.
Yeah.
I think she wants to do it to like infiltrate and shit like that, and pop us in the middle of something fucking horrible. So we'll see what happens. But I expect Cal to die in a blaze of glory at some point because he's gonna have to. So we'll see what happens. That'd be great. I have no idea what anybody else wants to do. Like Baja and Alex's characters, I don't really know. They're kind of wild cards. Like they're not inconsistent, but I don't know enough about either of them to like.
Some interesting stuff's about to happen to Alex's character next session, so
I'm pretty excited. Well, he put a fucking Infinity Stone in his forehead. It's nuts. It's crazy shit. I'm gonna be real. That out loud, I thought to myself, Cal sees a block and a hole shaped like the block, and so he'd put it in that because he's played with blocks, and I thought Alex would say no.
It's just...
He said yes.
The forced attunement, I think I already said this, was based on length of time, and the closer you are to it for the longer period of time, the more it's going to happen. And you shoved it into his head!
I didn't! He shoved it into his own head. I simply suggested the course of action. But it should be noted, Cal should never be listened to for any ideas.
That's true.
Unless that idea is punch. It's either punch with a question mark or punch with a period or punch with an exclamation point. Those are his 3 opinions.
Baja says, Asdor has no desire to leave the city anytime soon. She's got shit to do, which is true.
Yeah. Cal doesn't have shit to do. Cal is technically an indentured servant of the Institute, so he
I'm just gonna.
He feels like he's resigned to an end here.
I'm just gonna put this out there. Out of the various ones you could have found, because I had to make a call on which one you guys were gonna find, that was the better one for you to find. That's probably less game breaking than the other ones.
Jesus.
Those ones will be harder to find.
What did you... Okay, so what... Did you think we'd fucking take that? When you put that down, we were like... Had you entertained the possibility that we would actually take it?
Oh, yeah. I was like, this is going to be interesting. Either they're going to go through... I didn't know if you were going to go with, like...
Saving all the animals?
Saving the animals, and also, like...
If you haven't seen Alive, this means nothing to you,
yeah,
and I'm so sorry.
We'll get to the Reddit stuff in a sec. This is just us. We haven't talked in, like, 2 weeks, so...
Yep. This is what's going to happen from now on. You're going to see a lot of this shit going on.
So... Here's how I think about it, okay? I'm not trying to think in terms of, like, I expect you to do this, and then you will do...
It's pretty hard
okay, this is the world that, as it exists, and as you have affected it, and as it exists prior to you affecting it. And those are the pieces, and then whatever you do with those, I'm going to adapt to it.
Okay,
So I thought that my thought was there are 2 things you could do: either try and be on the DL and try and do the mission as the Institute wants you to, and maybe just know that that thing is there that you could return to later if you wanted, or you could have taken it. That was always something I assumed you could have done. I definitely didn't assume you were going to shove it into his head hole. That I did not expect.
Yeah, no.
But the rest I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what I... Yeah, I guess that's kind of the way I look at it, too. Like, here's some stuff.
Yeah.
Here's what I think might happen. And sometimes it's that, but often it's a variation of multiple options that ends up occurring.
Sure.
Or one I didn't even think of that was an option.
I have a set of... I'm trying to explain this, and I'm sure you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But for the audience, I have a set of rules and how things work in the world, and then whatever you guys do, I will react to in accordance with those rules. And with how the NPCs would behave in that situation.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to push any particular direction. I've heard the horror stories from the campaign that you took over. I don't want to be that at all. You guys do whatever the fuck you want. There's general things that are going to happen, whether you're involved with them or not.
Right.
But other than that,
that's the way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just I think that's the only way to really successfully DM.
Yeah.
And
speaking of which, I do have those episodes. I downloaded them. I just have to upload them to Unpopular Culture, the last 2. So if anyone's on the backlog.
And I don't feel like we ever haven't been able to make choices. This is a very different feel from any of the bad experiences we've had. So,
I just gotta figure out how to balance combat correctly. Then it'll be fun.
Honestly, if you it's much easier to think of in terms of like how many hit dice does a thing have? Because it usually says like we have so many hit dice.
Yeah.
So which means like assume every character does 1 or 2. That's how many hit dice we're gonna take. So if it has 4 hit dice, we're gonna kill it. Pretty quickly, probably. Yeah. Not necessarily.
I also fucked up the action economy so bad in that last fight too, because that bird definitely should have had like smaller things that would have kind of clogged up.
You can do legendary actions to make up for that, so you can kind of do that. But sometimes we're just gonna shit on like the biggest problem with any party with a monk in it is stunning strike.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. That bird was supposed to be able to, because it swallowed... I'm sorry, I'm talking over you. I don't mean to.
No, that's fine.
The bird had swallowed the thing, so it also had the ability to use some of the spells, not the higher level ones, but it was intelligent enough to be able to, like, Misty Step and stuff, and I was gonna reveal that partway through the fight, but then Stunning Strike, and then it fucking stun-locked, and then it was dead, and it's like, damn, alright.
Yeah.
And that would have been kind of, the idea was it would have been a subtle clue, like it ate it, and it got these abilities, Yeah,
I think that's a very fascinating design choice, and I think that's a good thing. Yeah, you can add mobs to which is just like little things to do as well. I don't even know. You could have had like the plants maybe act funny, maybe some awakened plants or something, because around it makes it something. I don't know. There's lots of different ways to do that. You could also just have other birds, like the baby birds, and like we kind of didn't want to kill the babies or something, which is kind of funny.
Sure. Especially with Asdor, because she doesn't like to kill animals, so that would be... Yeah.
Cal doesn't like to kill animals. He likes to punch them and run away from them because they're spooky.
Poor spider horses, like all the spider... Wait, did you guys get spider horses out? I don't remember.
We got.
I know you guys tried to... I know Stan and them tried to get some of the animals out.
Didn't Asdor have a specifically named spider horse that got out?
I think so, and also...
Like Daisy or some shit?
They grabbed those... oh gosh, why can't I think of the name? Displacer Beast. I think they grabbed a couple those Displacer Beast pups. And then the rest... I love the concept of... For those who don't... Again, we'll get to the actual content soon. I'm sorry, everyone. But if you're here, frankly, you're probably interested in our discussion anyway. Whatever.
Oh.
Because, like...
We got Penelope.
Yeah, that was it. So... all these animals and plants and everything were in this, like, demi-planar space that was bigger on the inside, in part due to the thing you guys found. And then after you guys left, it collapsed in on itself, so there's just, like, a really dense...
really dense meat pocket.
Dense meat. And actually,
meat.
I have an idea for what to do with that, too. So, I got ideas.
You could take the meat cube that it turned into and roast it over an open flame and cut it with a sword like shawarma.
It's a delicacy. It's an every animal. You ever heard of a turducken?
Oh yeah, but this turducken also has the earth around it baked into it, like the soil and the plants are there as well.
Yeah.
Along with any of the employees that were there still.
That's true. There were some... Actually, yeah, there were a lot of corpses, so...
Yeah.
Alright, do we want to do the Reddit stuff now?
Yeah, let's do a Reddit thing.
Okay. So, we're going to be reading posts from Am I the Asshole? Surprise! They are the asshole in basically all of the ones that I'm going to be sending Jake, and he's going to be narrating. So
I've not read these.
No.
And that's kind of the point, because I don't partake in the Reddit. No. It's not really a thing.
Which is a good choice.
We do. Yeah. So
I say that as someone who's on Reddit all the time. Reddit's garbage.
Yeah, I don't. I don't often frequent the site. It I don't know. There's something about it that just doesn't. I think it's the layout that doesn't appeal to me. But I have, these pop up all the time on different social media places. Like someone goes, "Am I the asshole?" And then you're reading, you're like, "Well, that sounds like asshole behavior." And so these are always entertaining to me, no matter what, irrespective of how Reddity it is. So I'm very excited about this. So. I guess we could just begin. Because this is not really. Yeah. Okay, so.
Definitely read the titles first.
Yeah. Okay. Am I the asshole for not wanting my dad to walk me down the aisle because he's in a wheelchair? Jesus fucking Christ.
It gets so much worse.
It didn't start in a good place.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So the goal for me here is to try to read this without reacting until I can bear it no more. Here we go. About 3 years ago, my dad was injured in a really bad hit-and-run car accident. He broke just about every bone in his body and left him paralyzed from the waist down. Our relationship has always been really good, but I hate seeing him in pain and admittedly try to avoid seeing him because it just makes me uncomfortable. Can't stop. Okay, so that's asshole thing because disabled people are people.
That's
this makes me more uncomfortable than anything it makes her.
Let's say we were at just this paragraph, right? I would give her the benefit of the doubt here and say, well, you are an asshole already, and your behavior is unacceptable. What you really probably need is therapy.
Yeah,
it seems that your father going through this traumatic thing and having that life change where he's now in a wheelchair, it distresses you a lot. Right?
Sure,
it's clear that this upsets her, and this is impacting her relationship with him. This is not his fault. This is completely, she needs to go to therapy and work through these issues and learn to accept it's still her father. He's the same person. It might be unfortunate that he's now dealing with this disability, but he's still the same father, and you need to love him and accept him in the same way you always have. I don't understand how she can have this thought and not examine it to the point where she's like, wait a minute. I probably need some help.
In November, I'm getting married. I've been with my fiancé for 4 years, and he and my dad get on really well. Naturally, the discussion of who was going to give me away came up in the family group chat, and I kept silent after I realized my dad would be in a wheelchair. We always talked about him giving me away and having a dance at my wedding, and I don't want to be reminded of what could have been at my wedding. I messaged my mom privately and told her I want my uncle to walk me down the aisle as we were incredibly close. She naturally asked why, and I told her that my dad being in a wheelchair would add complications to the wedding. The walkaway would have to be widened to accommodate his wheelchair, and he wouldn't be able to hold my arm or give me a proper hug. She was outraged, called me an ableist piece of shit, and removed me from the group chat. My aunt has since called me, telling me my dad is absolutely devastated. Am I the asshole? Yes. There are updates to this, but yes.
Yep. Updates are fantastic, by the way. If I remember correctly.
I don't think anybody needs an explanation as to why this person's an asshole, right? I mean,
I don't understand, and any of the, like, let's call them practical concerns that she brings up in terms of, like, widening the walkway. I don't know where she was holding this wedding, but why was the aisle so cramped? Wheelchairs aren't that wide. I've seen wheelchairs. And also, if she's worried about, like, holding him arm in arm, they could rent, like, an electric wheelchair or a motorized wheelchair just for the day, and that way he can just use the stick to move, and he doesn't have to, I don't know. I can't say I can come up with perfect solutions to this, but all I'm saying is, if you loved your dad, and really cared about him, and it wasn't just a you're creeped out by the wheelchair thing, you would find solutions to these problems. These are not insurmountable issues by any means.
I don't understand. Like, sometimes you need a wheelchair for stuff.
Yeah.
That's okay. Who gives a shit?
Like, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. Even if she had to, like, let's say even in a hypothetical, you want to go the easiest solution. She just wheels the wheelchair in, and then when they get to the aisle, they, like, hug, and she, like, whatever. That's fine. No one's gonna be, like, in the wedding. Imagine, as big of an asshole as she is, imagine an asshole in the guest in the party who's like, who's in a wheelchair?
Wow, should have dodged the car, loser.
Like no one thinks like that.
Nobody. So stupid. All right, we got updates. All right, update number 1. I appreciate all the people who have messaged me offering me support. Your kind words have meant a lot to me, whilst rifling through a bunch of messages telling me to do horrible things to myself. Regardless of what you think of me, telling me these things isn't okay. I'm going to call my dad tomorrow. Update number 2. Can people please stop messaging me such horrendous stuff? Think about what you're saying. You may not agree with me or my life, but you're just as bad as I apparently am if you're going around saying stuff like that to strangers on the internet. Last update. Not that I owe it to anyone, but I thought I'd give you all an update. My boyfriend and I have decided to part ways, and I've apologized to my dad. I would also separate from that person.
I would hope that this was all kicked off by him being like, oh my god, she said what?
Yeah. If so,
and having a
realization.
realization.
That's king shit.
That's good. It's good.
Yep. You deserve better, my dude. That's fucked up. Like, imagine having a dad you'd want to be at your wedding, and then imagine them getting injured and you being like, nah, never mind. You gotta be in peak physical form for me. Like, what? Is there like a? Are we being timed? Is there like a speed we have to hit? Is there a fitness test? Is he gonna have to deadlift something when he gives you away? I don't understand what the restriction's about. I'm so glad that she got broken up with, though. That's hilarious.
Yeah. She deserves that, for sure.
Every bit. This isn't loading very quickly. Okay, interesting. I'm seeing the title. Why can't I, was it not, is that link a little fucked up? What's going on here?
Do I need to send it to you again?
Yeah, that doesn't want to load at all.
That's very strange. One sec.
Uh-oh. Oh, wedding speedrun. I like the weeding speedrun better, personally.
I can read it if you need me to.
Let me see. Well, I guess you do this one. Yeah, it's not. I don't know why this is specifically not loading.
Okay.
Maybe I'll try this. Nope. Yeah, I don't know. That one's not working.
Weird. Okay, I'll read it. Am I the asshole for giving a 3-year-old beer?
Okay. How much beer? Was it like one of those things where I come from the Midwest, and sometimes 3-year-olds are like, I want beer, and the parents like, no, you can't have that, and they're like, I want beer, and like, you're gonna fucking hate it. You're gonna hate this, and they're like, no, I want it. Like, okay, and then do like a little sip, and they go, yeah, I don't like that, and they go, I know, you're a child, off. Like, I'm fine with like that makes a little bit of sense sometimes. Because, a little bit of that.
Let me put it this way.
Anybody, but,
if you do that and it's your kid, that's one thing.
Oh.
This is not about his child.
Oh. No, then yeah. Oh, okay. Giving beer is different from, like dissuading them from wanting beer, right?
Yeah. With
the shitty taste of whatever your Busch Light is. Yeah. Because that's what it's really for. It's like when kids are like, I want to smoke. And you're like, all right, smoke a cigarette then. Right in front of me, go ahead. And they just fucking cough and hate it, and you're like, yeah, I know it sucks, don't do it. Like, and then that's it. You're like, okay, you experienced the thing and it's bad. Yeah. Okay. So this is not that situation. All right.
Yeah, it sounds bad, but it was an innocent thing. I was at a cookout with my wife's family, and I just opened up a cold one. My wife's 3-year-old niece asked me what I was drinking, and I told her it was beer. She asked to taste it, so I poured her like a tenth of a sip into
a sip. Oh, okay.
Into a plastic cup, thinking it would be bitter for her, but well, she liked it.
Wait, he didn't ask her parents?
No. He just gave a strange child that walked up to him alcohol.
No, this is fucking weird.
Which is what we call, in the United States, a felony.
Well, I mean, I don't want this guy to go to prison for this, but, like...
He needs a slap upside the head. Like, really?
He needs somebody to be like, fucking what? And apparently they did. He wrote an Am I an Asshole post, so...
She wanted more, and I told her it was a grown-up drink, but it was too late. She ran around demanding to drink more beer for the entire cookout. She wouldn't eat anything. She just demanded beer, and they had to put her in a timeout.
That backfired. That backfired a lot. If that's your kid, then you can have the situation where you're like, no. But now you gave her a taste as a person that shouldn't have been able to give her a taste. What are you doing?
That guy just ruined this girl's life. She's gonna be an alcoholic.
Wow, if that started the alcoholism, I don't know.
She was probably doomed if that was the case, but you know. Yeah. Anyway, the in-laws are mad now and the wife isn't happy. Am I the asshole?
I think this person's the asshole. Nick Bush with $2 said, that happened.
Here's the update. Apologized and sorted it out with the in-laws. They know I love that little rascal and would never intend to harm her. I agree with people that things like that should be leveled with the parents first. Interesting that the divide along "you're the asshole, not the asshole" was highly correlated with upbringing. Europeans and more rural-oriented Americans, for lack of a better wording, did realize that it's just a dumb brain fart on my part at worst.
No, I'm pretty rural.
I think most Americans were highly critical of my actions. There does seem to be a series of taboo regarding alcohol and boundaries in that culture. I guess it's a matter of outlook, as most things are. Look, maybe even if the kid was like 10, but this is a 3-year-old, and it's not your 3-year-old. Don't give alcohol to children, folks. Not good.
Yeah. No, I don't think you gotta. I mean, you gotta ask the parents at least in that situation. Hopefully, they're like, well, no. Like, but I remember that happening to me. I was like, I want to try beer. And I got some, and they're like, all right, take a sip. Just a sip. And I don't remember who it was. Probably my dad. And I was like, this is fucking awful. I'm going to drink lemonade now. And then I did. Imagine liking it, though. That sounds terrible. But I, like, I don't know. I think it's going to hurt the kid if you give him a little bit. But you are an asshole for, like, not asking the parents' consent in the situation for their toddler.
Yeah,
with anything really, like it doesn't really. I think this goes past. Like, what if it's just like, I don't know, I want a piece of pizza. And you're just like, all right, here's a fucking piece of pizza, and the kid, they're like, no, we don't want our kid to have any pizza. That's why I asked you. Like, I don't know, like respect other parents. Sort of shit there, man. It's sort of weird. This one worked. Okay, all right. I have like a hair in the back of my throat. Well, I guess I'll just die. Okay, here's the next one.
Get it. Just stick your fingers back there and grab it.
I don't know where it's at. It's like, I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure it'll come out when I hack it up. Am I the asshole for firing an employee after his parents died? I'm the VP of sales at a software company. Is it Blizzard? And one of our sales development reps' parents passed away at the beginning of April. Sadly, they were involved in a car crash and both lost their lives. Now the employee in question is a very young, 22-year-old guy and has been with us for about 10 months. Excuse me. He's a great employee, and we were thinking about promotions the next 6 months for him. His job is a high-paying one for a new grad, about $90K with commissions. That's great. And base, so we expect a lot from this position. Because of the accident, we let him take a 1-month paid leave of absence from work, and he's returned a few weeks ago, and his performance is severely lacking. He's super unmotivated, not cold calling, outreaching to prospects for the last 2 to 3 weeks. Enough since he's come back. Our whole MGM or management team, MGMT, the band. Our whole management team has noticed this, and we decided to let him go because we feel like he'd need months and months to be able to produce again, and we just can't wait that long.
Capitalism! Yay!
We called him into a meeting on Friday afternoon and gave him the bad news. He was very calm. He was very calm and rude about it. Told us to go fuck ourselves and got up, went to the desk, grabbed a few things, and left. I thought this is very, very unprofessional and extremely rude. I told my boyfriend about all this, and he said, myself and my management team are a bunch of asses and pricks with no hearts. Am I the asshole? Yes, you are the asshole, and so is capitalism. This is fucking bullshit, dude. This is like imagine going through trauma and getting 30 days to deal with literally losing both your parents at 22 years old. They're young. Those are young parents. You're 22 years old, and they were together, and they died, and I'm not productive? Yeah, you're the asshole. Fuck you.
It's not even like, even if you look at it in a cold, calculated, like, let's say I'm Spock. I'm season 1 Spock, okay?
Right, he was young and incredibly already efficient. He's just having a bad time with his trauma, right? So he's gonna, in the long run...
If you give him some time, and it's gonna take time, he'll get back to being a decent worker. You're just being an idiot. It's that problem of, like, right this second, I'm not making the maximum amount of money, so fuck what's gonna happen in the future because of my decision. It's so fucking disgusting. Unions, people, they're important.
They are important. Imagine not voting on behalf of your own fucking well-being. Update, holy fuck, this blew up. I know this was shitty of me now. I reached out to him to see how he's holding up. He's staying in his girlfriend's place, and she's supporting him a lot right now. I offered to get my headhunter friend in touch with him when he's ready, and he accepted. That doesn't make up for it. What are you talking about? He's lost all of this salary. He's lost all of this capital in this fucking, like, capitalist system. He's also got this firing on the record. I don't know. This is fucking stupid. There's no way to salvage that. You can't make that decision like that. This reminds me of it's a different situation, but it's another shitty employment situation. The lady we used to work for who miraculously died. I mean tragically. Is dead. She was in hiring stuff with me before.
Just real quick, I don't mean to interrupt, but just a while back, I was, this was like a month or so ago, I went through the drive-thru at that place. The son still works there.
Oh,
he's still working on...
Sure that's going well.
He was there the day I walked out and never came back.
Yeah,
and now
didn't recognize you. There's no way.
And now, I didn't even...
no way.
I saw him. He didn't see me. He has a beard now.
Oh, you guys went the opposite direction.
Yeah. I used to be the one with the beard. Now I have boobies. So...
Boobies are better.
Boobies
I'm going to toss that out there.
Sure.
That's true.
Make a t-shirt. It's going to say boobies greater than beards. So...
But that's going to be across your boobies. That's cheating.
Maybe I want people to stare at my boobs. Okay.
I mean, probably.
I paid a lot of money for them.
I was gonna say you made an investment. I feel like and you want, of course.
I'm just saying.
Paint my house for you not to look at it.
If it wasn't Twitch TOS, I'd show them off more. Not with nothing.
Lower,
but like maybe like, hey, check it out. Turn to the side. Show off the silhouette. That's all I'm saying.
You literally can do that. You can't intentionally. I mean, I guess you can't go like, look, it's my breasts.
Well, that's what I want to do.
You can be here. Okay, well, you can be here just having them. You get to have them. Anyway, what were we talking about? Boobs? I love boobs. Boobs are great.
Oh, you were talking about the lady who died.
Oh, yeah, she had boobs too, but they weren't very great. They weren't.
That's fine to say. The tumor was in her head, not her boobs.
Well, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean she had tumor boobs. It was her brain. Which makes a lot of sense because she was a dumbass. She was fucking stupid, and here's an example. She was hiring during a period of time. I don't know what it was. And, of course, being part of the management team, we are part of that sort of, like, conversation of Not what do you need, of course. It was just like, I'm doing this and here's how it's going to be. It was less of a meeting and more of a fucking symposium. But, you know how she fucking was. And she got into a conversation about hiring practices with me privately, which was fucking weird. Because she was trying to talk to each management person about like making sure that we give out applications. I don't know if you remember that period of time. There was like, we're hiring signs out front, and so I was like, here's what we're looking for, blah blah blah. And then she very absent-mindedly, she didn't think that this would bother me, and it did. Although at the time I was going, you know, our lives were a lot crazier. She said, I don't hire people with complex names because on their name tags it's hard for people to read them. And I was like, okay. And she's like, yeah, here's an example, and it was clearly like a black name. She's married to a Pakistani man. I don't, at the time, she's now dead and not married to him because she died, but I'm gonna keep hammering that. But yeah, she's just like, I'm not hiring black people with black sounding names. She basically said that.
Yeah.
It was really fucked up. It was really fucked up.
She was a terrible person.
Yeah.
Remember, I don't know if you were there for this, but I'm sure you had similar conversations. This was shortly after the Affordable Care Act was going into effect. And she literally
yeah. No, I remember this, yeah.
She had me, and I was like, I was on management track, like right before I left. She was about to train me to do management because I did the maintenance already.
You were basically in management just without the pay.
I did all the maintenance in the morning. I came in at like 5 a.m. and did all the maintenance on the equipment, and I did truck.
An opening manager like equivalent, in my opinion.
So it was me, and I don't know if you were there, but it was a couple of the people she liked because we're, you know, not idiots and we're like decent at our jobs. And she brought us in.
I might have been there, yeah.
She brought us into like the back meeting room, and she literally like just went on like a tirade about how shitty it is that she has to offer employees health care now. Mm-hmm. And she's like, we put so much money into this, and Obama. It's like, bitch, you pay me like $10 an hour. Fuck you. You literally come in here and bitch at us, and you're not engaged with the restaurant at all. You show up and you take our shit. It's her shit, don't get me wrong, but she'd literally come in and be like, I need a loaf of bread. Go get me a loaf of bread from the freezer.
Yeah, all the time.
It's like, we're trying to do a job and make you money. Like, why are you coming in and bothering us? Go to the supermarket.
Get yourself a loaf of bread. Like, what? Even the owners at McDonald's didn't do that shit. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. She was terrible.
Awful.
And the world is probably better without her.
No, probably. It's absolutely 100% better that she died from a brain tumor. I remember when we thought she made it.
Yeah, she went into they had a surgery. And I remember there was even a little bit where we were like, I wonder if the brain tumor was one of the reasons she's like a terrible person. And then no, that was just her. If anything, maybe the tumor was an improvement. I don't know.
Yeah. Chase Aslinger, thanks for the $5. You both are so sexy. Hey, thank you. I'm glad that we offer you something for your loins. You don't? You don't agree?
No, I do.
Okay.
I have to be offended, but it's weirdly validating.
You really don't have to be offended.
Speaking of validating, I was at a friend's house yesterday. Have I told you about Tori?
You've mentioned, yeah.
Okay, so I was at Tori's house, and there was a cat there that's a blind cat. Mm-hmm. Adorable cat. And apparently, this cat is terrified of men. This cat loves me. And when I get there, that blind cat immediately jumps on my lap.
Blind cat. There you go.
That blind cat is a fucking hero, okay? I love that cat.
There it is. That is a weird validation story, but I respect it.
So take that, Ben Shapiro. The cat likes me.
I don't think Steven Crowder's collapsed lung is going to win. They're not usually fatal.
No.
Can't listen to you talk about someone who died like that? Well, that's okay, Dippy Fresh, because she's fucking dead. And I'm glad, because she's a bad fucking person who was a racist and a terrible employer and bad to everyone around her. So, you have a wonderful day, though. I love you deeply.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Let me see what I want to do next. Oh, this one's ridiculous.
This one's the ridiculous one.
It's particularly bad. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Don't. Well, okay. Ooh, it's a little bit. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Am I the asshole for telling my stepdaughter to stop using period products in the bathroom she shares with my teenage sons? Specifically? Because it's sons? Okay. All right. I've been living with my new wife and stepdaughter for about 6 months now. She's 19, almost 20. And I have 3 sons, aged 18, 16, and 15. She's a really good kid, and she's a good influence on my sons. I really enjoy having her around. My wife and her daughter moved into my house and sold theirs. My stepdaughter's father isn't present in her life, nor is my son's mother. All 4 children share my bathroom. The one share a bathroom. Okay. My sons have never lived for a long period of time with a woman, nor have any of them had long-term girlfriends. They had short visitation periods when they were younger, but never longer than an hour, so living with 2 women has been unusual for them. My eldest son, 18, came to me last week and told me that his stepsister disposed of her used sanitary products in the trash can they share, but doesn't use toilet roll or sandwich bags to disguise what they are, and it makes him uncomfortable, which I think is reasonable. My sons are teenage boys and don't want to see their stepsister's period products on full display. Men are so weird. A few nights ago, and I'm one of them. And then a few nights ago, I went into the kitchen to grab a snack, and she was there doing some work for university. My wife had mentioned that she knew she was on her period, so I took it as an opportunity to have a word with her. I told her my sons were uncomfortable and asked if she'd mind putting her used products in diaper bags or flushing them down the toilet. She laughed and told me it was rich coming from a man who, quote, sheds like a gorilla and has produced, quote, 3 skid-marking sons, which I thought was just an unnecessary attack. I think it's all's fair there. I've been nothing but nice to the girl, and it's hardly a comparison. My son shouldn't be subjected to her unhygienic products if it makes them uncomfortable. She went on to lecture me about how tampons can't be flushed and that it's better for the environment. She uses diaper bags for everyone, which I think is just an excuse.
I think everyone knows this at this point, guys, but don't flush tampons down the toilet. It'll clog that shit up. It's not good for the...
That's what they're for.
Yeah.
I called her a scruff. What? Is he from the 1920s? And told her that this was my house and what I say goes. Oh, wow. Really good fucking move. Wow. Of course. Jesus. I later asked my wife if she could have a word with her, and she told me I was being ridiculous and that her daughter has had her period for 10 years and knows what she's doing. When I told her it was making my sons uncomfortable, she said my sons needed to get a grip and turned over and went to sleep. Good. This is a genuine issue to me, and she didn't care enough to have a discussion about it. I asked my stepdaughter again in the morning, and she did the same as her mother, completely dismissed me. Both of them had told me to stop being so silly, but I don't see how I'm being unreasonable when it makes my sons uncomfortable. Am I the asshole? I am. This guy's raising some fine incels, says Smith Black. So. Okay. Fellas, I'm talking to you right now, okay? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is... It's just... Come on. Periods are periods. It happens. It happens. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Now, I understand maybe you have like a... Ooh, blood makes me squeamish or something. That's fine. You know what you can do? You can put a piece of toilet paper over that if that bothers you or something. You can also ask... You can also be like, maybe it's the blood. The sight of blood. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it at all, because that's not what's being said. What's being said here is your unsanitary, air quotes, which is not true, unsanitary female products. You're just fucking squicked out by something you don't understand. How about just, like, fucking learning about this and learning it's, like, normal? It's like, I don't know. You have body pieces, too. Like, the point that she was making when she said you shed like a gorilla and the 3 sons have skid marks everywhere is that bodies have things that are... sometimes considered gross or unsightly, but we all sort of deal with each other's bodies, and we all understand that everyone's pretty much the same amount of gross to some extent. Our baseline is like, we're still gross sometimes. We all poop. We all have different bodily functions. Some of us bleed. Like, it's not a big deal. this is fucking weird. You are the asshole. It's so strange the way he approached it too, and then doubling down and saying like, it's my house, this is the way it goes. Like, no, it's our house. We all live here. I understand that you pay the bills, and that's really fantastic, but that doesn't mean that you get to be a dictator. You're a fucking loser. Do you have anything to add to that?
No.
Before I read this update? Okay.
I don't think so. It's just, at the very least, the update does say, not even 2 hours after I posted this, my wife and stepdaughter gathered my sons and I and gave us a full intensive, quote, periods for pricks course. PowerPoint and all. It was a hoot. They made an interactive quiz and everything. My sons and I learned a lot and apologized to my stepdaughter. So hopefully they learned to not be weird about things that aren't weird.
Learning about it is what helped. There you go.
Yeah.
There it is. That's all it takes. Stop being so weirded out by stuff that you don't necessarily understand. Shit drives me crazy. I think that's just a mentality in general. Like, I think that's just like the entirety of that thought process is just like, I don't know it. Okay, all right. Got another one. Well, I have a question. What time did you want to? How long have we been alive?
Hour 13 minutes.
Did I just say alive on accident? Okay. So, how long do we want to go?
I don't know. I'm streaming after this, so I'm good with whatever.
Sure. Let's do 2 more.
Okay.
Let's do 2 more. And then we'll just do it again soon. I don't know. We'll just keep doing it. Okay. All right. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter she cannot introduce her... Oh, God. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter she cannot introduce her African-American boyfriend to her grandparents? Let me just preface this. This is in bold and caps lock. I have absolutely no problem with interracial relationships. I voted for Barack Obama twice. Now that
I would have voted him for a 3rd time if I could.
Okay. So here's the story. My daughter, Anna, has recently started to date an African-American man named Jamal. Okay, please. You could tell he's a lib. I am so uncomfortable saying the term African-American at this point in my life.
I'll use it.
Like, I just talk to my black friends. They're just, they say black, I say black, and it's just, everyone's more comfortable. And they're...
I'm like, here's how I basically make the distinction, because occasionally I'll use the term African-American. If I'm talking about, like, specific people, or even, like, specific groups, black, or occasionally, like, people of color. But if I'm talking about, like, if we're talking about as an entire group, sometimes I'll say African-American. Or I'll just say black people. It's whatever.
Yeah,
I try and stay on top of whatever is the most appropriate verbiage, and I'm sure that'll shift over time, but, like, I'm just trying my best.
All the people that I am close to that identify as black prefer that term.
Sure.
So that's what I use. So, anyway, I'm probably gonna have to say it again. I don't know. So Anna and Jamal are dating. While I'm not exactly what you would refer to as, he's not a liberal, but he sounds liberal. Maybe that's why he's using it as well. He's like a center right. While I'm not exactly what you would refer to as a liberal, he's a nice man, and as long as my daughter is happy, I'm happy. I'm also not what you would refer to as a liberal, for the record. A little more than that.
A tanky called me a liberal the other day. That was fun.
Well, to a tanky, maybe you are a liberal. Tankies need to calm down. If you're authoritarian, you're wrong. Okay, stop being a tanky. You can be other forms of communist, but once you start to go like up to the top of that, you're wrong. Anyway, I can't tell other people how to like. The problem is Anna is rather naive about the community she lives in. While her friends are quite content to see a relationship like hers, more than a few tongues are wagging in the community, and a few people have privately expressed their concern to me. Their concern. As I said, I have no problem with mixed relationships, I've set them straight, but I am painfully aware of how these matters are viewed by certain segments of the population. You know what? I will say, I didn't expect, and I've set them straight. I did not expect that from someone who doesn't apparently consider themselves at least left-leaning.
Sure.
That is usually because that's like anti-racism in action, which is strange. Now I don't know. He probably said like, "Well, I mean, she's gonna do what she's gonna do." It probably wasn't like what he should have said. But anyway, I'm surprised he even said anything. My parents are planning to come and stay with us for a week, and Anna expressed a desire to introduce Jamal to them. Now that things were getting more serious between them, I told her on no uncertain terms that it wasn't going to happen. I may have no problem with Jamal, but they absolutely will. Excuse me again. I drank a seltzy. And even when the relationship... Whoa. And even when the relationship ends, they won't forget it. All right, you've undone your goodwill, my friend. They might even go as far as to cut her off entirely. Anna was extremely upset by this and implied I was a racist and more concerned with what my parents think than how she feels. Well, you are. As I said, I know my parents. They simply aren't okay with mixed relationships, and if Anna were to bring Jamal over, even as a friend, they would be furious both at her and me. Anna is currently staying with Jamal and doesn't want to speak with me right now. My wife stands by me, given she knows very well how my parents are. I had a problem with her for months over the length of the skirt she wore when I introduced her to them, for Christ's sake. But a close friend I confided in told me that I behaved like an ass and that I need to focus more on my daughter than please my parents. No advice needed, but I have to know. Have I been an ass? Oh, no advice needed. Shut up. Look, so insecure, dude. So fucking insecure. I don't need your advice. Yeah, you fucking do. Yeah, you fucking need advice. The advice is this: have the thing and be like, just so you guys know, sit Anna and Jamal down beforehand and be like, look, you guys love each other. I'm here for that. He apparently is here for that. That's what he's saying. And just be like, look, I'm going to support you in this because I mean, like, who gives a shit? You're two people that love each other. I couldn't care less what you look like. But they do, and I know they do. So here's what's going to happen. If you want to have this dinner, I want to have this dinner with you. And I will back you up, but they are going to be very shitty. And so if you don't want to go through that, you don't have to. You are under no obligation to meet these people, even if you want to. They are my parents. They're not your burden. But you got to be there for your kid. You have to be there in that situation and be like, I'm just going to support you. And I will go to bat for you against these parents. They're fucking old. Come on.
On top of that, I agree with everything you just said, but I'd also, if I were him, go to the parents if that dinner was going to happen and be like, listen, here's what's happening. This is who she's dating. If you're going to be ridiculous about this, then not only is she not going to talk to you ever again, but I'm done. I'm not dealing with this. Grow up. Be done. You're absolutely too old to be thinking like this. Like, I'm not. Stop trying to, like, tiptoe around racist people and just be like, well, they're just old. Like, okay. Yeah. They've been around even longer than us. They had longer to figure this shit out.
Right.
Fuck them.
Yeah. I do understand. I mean, obviously, it's going to be harder for people that have learned behavior to unlearn behavior. However, that's not an excuse to continue to let them.
Something similar happened. I don't talk to my mom anymore. I don't talk to either of my parents because they're not particularly good people. And I was talking about coming out to my grandparents as...
Yeah.
And my mom literally requested... My mom was like... a leftist lady with a pee-pee. My mom asked, can't you just, like, not tell them? They're gonna die soon anyway. My mom requested I not come out to my grandparents, her parents, because she didn't want them to know, I guess.
Yeah. Which I know her enough to know that I don't... Well, maybe I don't know her enough, but it doesn't sound like she's doing it because she would be embarrassed. It sounds like she's doing it because she doesn't want them to go through anything. What's to go through? I don't know.
And by the way, in the last year, I did come out to them. They're fine.
They were fine.
They're fine.
That's really fantastic. We talked about this last time, but yeah, that's really fantastic. And I think that's that's cool. So what was that conversation like? Since we're talking about that, we don't.
I sent him a letter.
Well, what was it? And they sent you a letter back?
They texted me, which I found funny. Considering they're
that is interesting. But you went old and they went a little bit newer.
Yeah. But I sent him a letter. I just talked about what's going on, how I've been with Baja, because they didn't necessarily know about that. that we're moving in together soon and all other stuff. And then I was like, by the way, I haven't been in contact with you guys very much because I've been going through these things, and I, was worried about how you were gonna take it, and I don't want you to, like, think of me differently in a negative way or anything, but here's what's going on. And I kind of spelled it out, and they texted me like, hey, that's great, we love you no matter what, hope to see you soon, basically.
Did you go see them soon?
No, I need to. You know how I am. You know how I am.
That's super great. That's super nice. That's delightful. That, I don't know. Like, I don't think I have the bad people in my family that I would be worried about telling anything to, which isn't a lot because I don't give a fuck. But, like my dad and my grandfather basically would be the only two people that could possibly have ever made me go, like, I don't know if I want to tell them anything. And both of them would have had a negative reaction had I had anything to, like, if I was just gay, for instance, they would both have not liked that at all. So I don't know. I don't know. That gives me a little good feels. I'm really happy for you. Yeah,
everyone in my family knows now. I am completely out.
That's awesome.
And at the end
of
next...
who gave you shit?
My dad?
Just the one.
My dad, and my mom was questionable about it. She was trying to be supportive-ish in the way that she can, but you've met my mom. She's just, like, weird, and
I do know. That's why I was like, that doesn't sound like she's ashamed, but it also sounds like she was, like, to an outside party, and it was kind of for chat, that sounds like I'm ashamed, but I don't think that's what she was doing, because she's sort of, like, in a weird way, like, I don't know how to even describe her personality.
I know. It's tough.
She has, like, a little bit of that, like, neurosis about that your dad definitely has, like, 100% of that, like, how people perceive.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little bit of that. I don't know.
I just find it funny.
Obviously better.
I find it funny that she's concerned about her parents' like view of the family enough that she wants me to not come out to them, but not enough that she didn't get 2 DUIs and stay with an abusive man for like 30 years. And
okay, shots fired were those were earned. She earned those. So yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
Let me find another one. I haven't read this one, so I guess we'll see if this one's any good.
Which one's this?
This is... Yeah.
Okay. Took a second. Okay. What? Okay. Am I the asshole for letting my daughter wear an expensive dress to my sister's house? Okay. Hi, all. Me and my husband and our 15-year-old daughter, Georgia, went to my sister's place for lunch this weekend. Georgia is very bright. She completed her exams early and is now studying more advanced material. She's a big fashionista, a lot more than I was at that age. She loves pretty clothes and outfits, and we're happy to get her as much as we can, provided she behaves well and keeps up the good grades. The lunch with my sister was fairly casual, but Georgia wore her new pink dress. My sister isn't as well off as we are, unfortunately. She is raising 3 children on her own, and her job isn't as high-paying one. In the past, she asked me if Georgia could tone down her outfits when we come to visit, because she doesn't want her kids being upset that they can't afford things like that. I do get my sister's point, but it's not down to me to police what Georgia wears. I've spoken to Georgia about it, but I left the final decision to her. Anyway, so we went for lunch, and Georgia ends up getting into an argument when my sister's 13-year-old Lucy asked about the dress and where it was from. Georgia answered that it didn't matter because Lucy... Ooh. Georgia answered that it didn't matter because Lucy couldn't afford it anyway. We told Georgia to shut up as soon as the comment left her lips, but as soon as it ended up with Georgia and Lucy screaming at each other. My sister made the kids vanilla milkshakes, and Lucy decided to throw hers all over Georgia, ruining the dress. Georgia burst into tears, and to be fair, my sister did bring her a change of clothes. I said that if the dress was permanently ruined, I wanted my sister to reimburse us. What the fuck? My sister has refused and said that it was our responsibility because my daughter wore an expensive dress despite being warned not to. The dress cost a couple $100, and washing it has failed to completely remove the stains. Frankly, I don't care about my sister's warnings. We can't make Georgia wear what she wants to, and it's not our problem. She can't control her child to stop ruining her beautiful dress. Am I the asshole? Holy shit, everyone's the asshole. Okay. Everyone's the asshole.
Look, I want to say my opinion on this. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, I don't think you should be policing what your daughter wears. I get
Correct.
that the other girl might feel bad about that, but it doesn't. You can't police someone else's wardrobe just because someone else can't afford it. It sucks.
Yep.
And maybe, hey, good opportunity for like a gift sometime. Like, oh, we got you this beautiful dress, whatever. But also, that fucking daughter completely out of line for calling her out like that. Like, you couldn't even afford it. Like, fuck you!
You're 15. You can't afford it. You can't. What? You work at Burger King? Get out of here. You can't afford that shit either. Classism sucks. Capitalism is the bad guy again. It's the bad guy again. Now, do I think the other kid should have been, like, throwing the milkshake? No. But was it cathartic? You're goddamn right it was.
It's pretty funny.
You can't be fucking classist to somebody and expect that person to be like, I'm not going to fuck their shit up. Of course they're going to fuck their shit up. What do you mean you can't afford that? What? Shut the... Yo, I'm so glad Georgia's dress got ruined. And it sounded like a pretty pink dress. I'm fine if you wear pretty pink dresses. Does this thing have to be expensive to be good, by the way? No. Is that pink? I thought it was like a lavender.
It's like a soft pink. It's not coming... It's kind of between a pink and a purple. So...
Yeah, which I thought was the word lavender, but
maybe it is.
I am told... Well, I'm told that you lady folk can see more colors than I can, so it's fucking whatever, okay? I don't need your color oppression right now, right? I'm mad about the capitalism. I don't think it was okay for the sister of, like, the aunt, I guess, in this scenario, to be like, it makes my kids feel bad if you wear nice clothes. Like, they have the clothes they have. It's not like you got to wear clothes, and I'm assuming if they're well off, they buy nice clothes. I was middle class growing up, and I was very poor for like a decade, and now I'm sort of fine.
Yeah.
Right? I have been on both sides of this for some part. I never understood, like I remember one time I was very classist to a good friend of mine, Dave. But he was just pissing me off, and I tried to hurt him, and it was this shitty thing kids say, and I basically made fun of him for living in trailer park, which wasn't his choice, right? He was a child. And like a week later, I felt so bad that I just apologized to him. And a teenager having the humility to apologize isn't normal, but it was because I had been to that kid's house. I knew it was fine. I knew it was just a house, and his mom, they ended up moving to a bigger house than I fucking had. And like she was like a bus driver. She was fine. She's still nice. I like her a lot. And like, I don't know. I was shitty, and I was able to get over it. And I just hope, I hope everybody fucking learns this situation. Your value isn't based on your monetary income. It just isn't. And man, it's just like fucking. That's fucking shitty. That's a shitty situation. I don't like that at all. That made me mad. Everyone sucks.
Yep.
Except for the girl with the milkshake. I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah. Brooke says, I feel like the rich parents shouldn't ask the poor parents to pay for their dress their daughter ruined. The rich daughter should learn that being a shitter has consequences. Yeah. I agree. That's a good learning experience. Like, hey, you got other dresses. Maybe don't do that. Don't call people out like that. That's your consequence.
We don't actually see more colors than you. It's just a good excuse for when someone has different taste than you don't want to argue. I mean, you can say that, but literally there are people that so this is a phenomenon in biology. Remember the dress that was like blue and black or blue and gold or whatever?
Yeah,
that's a situation based on the way that human eyes have evolved, and some people do in fact seriously see different colors. In the way that works. I mean, there's obviously color blindness, and there's no way to really verify the depth of color that any one person sees. You can't measure it. It has to be explained by someone's perception because our brain interprets different colors. So, little figure, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's not because people just don't want to fucking argue about it. It's because people are genuinely experiencing colors different. That's okay. Why pretend? Why pretend that's not a thing? Anyway, Oladization saying something nice about Hannah. Hannah, love the hair. Did you get my link to Doctor Who Chud Bolstrick via chat last time? I suspect we'll go off on a new one now that Jody's leaving. I don't Bolastrick?
I just pulled them up. I'll save them. I'll save them for Chud Watch. Yeah, Jake, did you hear the good Doctor Who news before we sort of start wrapping up?
What's the good Doctor Who news? I did not hear it.
We already knew Jodie was leaving, and hey, I feel bad for her because the scripts weren't good.
Yeah, I think she is a good actress.
We know she's a good actress
aesthetically
because she was in Broadchurch and she's been in other stuff, so she is a very competent actress. I just think the material she was given was not good. But the good news is that Chris Chibnall is fucking right off.
He's just leaving.
He's no longer going to be the showrunner after this season. And we'll get someone else. You know what would be ideal? If they said, Hannah, random American F-list streamer, who is the new showrunner, okay, for Doctor Who? And I can force them, okay? This is not a job offer. They're being shanghaied into this, okay? Do you know who I'd pick?
Who to be the showrunner?
Yes.
For Doctor Who.
It's a stupid answer.
Okay, go ahead.
Co-showrunners Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat, and Russell T Davies has final editorial control on all of Stephen Moffat's scripts.
I gotta be honest with you. I didn't expect to like what you were gonna say. But I kind of like what you just said.
It's the best of both worlds. Moffat's best stuff happened under Russell T Davies.
Filtered through a reasonable mind.
Yes!
Okay. I actually don't fucking hate that. That's not a terrible... Wow. That's actually... Yeah. Oh, and can we get Mark Gatiss exiled from Britain during the... just for the years that they're showrunners? I don't want him anywhere. I don't want him on the landmass.
We'll get a third person whose entire job is it if Gatiss comes near the writer's room, someone will swipe at him with a stick. Like a switch that you pull off a tree. Just, no, Gatiss! No!
Literally just send him across the channel. Go to, France or something for, on a holiday for a few years, and that's fine. He can't contact Stephen Moffat. He can't send a Christmas card. There's nothing. I don't want him to be able to secret message him at all.
We're gonna kidnap Mark Gatiss. This is a joke, YouTube. We're not actually conspiring to commit crimes. We're gonna kidnap Mark Gatiss, and we're gonna say, Stephen Moffat, Mark Gatiss, we have him locked in a cage, okay? And we're forcing him to watch season 4 of Sherlock over and over and over on a loop, okay?
Wait, and that Dracula thing he wrote, which was just awful.
You have to write at least 4 more good seasons of Doctor Who.
Or Mark gets it.
Or Mark...
He gets it.
And Russell T Davies gets to decide how to edit your shit, because you have good ideas, but you have too many, and you need to rein it in.
You know who I think would actually be a really good person to do this is, although I don't know if I'm hearing mixed reviews on the character of this person, but if I'm not mistaken, Justin Roiland has done a lot of the really cool Rick and Morty stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. They would never ever hire an American to be the showrunner for Doctor Who.
No, they wouldn't.
Which I don't even think is a bad idea, but yeah.
However, I do think that wouldn't be. I do think a room makes more sense than one person.
At this point, I agree. Doctor Who has done the showrunner thing since 2005, and it's had varying degrees of success. I think Russell T Davies was a really good showrunner. Moffat, when he was good, how do I put this?
He's really good when he's good.
Russell T Davies didn't have as high of highs, but he was very stable in terms of like quality season-long arcs and character stuff. Moffat had higher peaks but lower valleys.
Oh yeah, totally agree.
And
we were excited about Chibnall. We were excited about Chibnall.
Yeah, because he did Broadchurch. I mean, I don't think there was any reason to necessarily assume.
It's got to be the genre.
I don't think he can do sci-fi very well. Because even his previous Doctor Who episodes he wrote weren't that good, most of them. And then the worst retcon in the history of Doctor Who happened. So.
Well, I don't know that, but
do you want to know it? Do you want to know the worst retcon in the history of Doctor Who?
Trying to think. Did they just bring the guy's wife back?
Which guy's wife?
The lady that is gone. I think she dies in the first episode.
Oh no. No. Jake. Okay.
No. Wait. Does Clara come back alive for the third time?
No. Okay. Damn. So, spoilers for the latest season of Doctor Who. Don't worry, it's shitty. Okay? I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, and I would never tell...
We're both pretty huge Doctor Who fans.
I own every season on Blu-ray.
Way bigger. Yeah. No, you're a way bigger fan. You got me into it, but yeah.
So, Jake, it's revealed... There's actually a good episode this season where it's called The Fugitives of the Jejune.
Oh, good episode.
Remember the Jejune?
Fugitives of the Jejune. Wait. That's wait. Why do I know that?
The Rhinos, the Rhino guys from Russell T Davis's era.
Yeah. So the ones that were on the moon.
Yep.
We have two donos real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
Alanization with 5 more. Bull Streak goes on these nonsensical rants about the left-wing agenda and criticizes material. I think the show is anti-white. What? And then Gil Lucas with $14.99. Thank you so much. Hey, Hannah and Jake, take my money and my best wishes. You guys have been the best dynamic, and there hasn't been a video of yours that I haven't thoroughly enjoyed. Thanks for everything. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that.
So, the Jejune show up on Earth, and they're searching this town, and the Doctor doesn't know why. The Doctor runs...
This is the good thing, not the bad thing?
This is the good episode. And... the Doctor runs into... I don't remember the specifics, but I know the Doctor runs into this woman named Ruth and her, I think, husband or friend. And they're part of the adventure as the Doctor's trying to figure out what's going on. And Ruth has interesting sort of gaps in her knowledge and things start to not really make sense. And at the climax of the episode...
Okay.
Ruth is in her house as the Jejune are coming, and the Doctor is scanning outside because the Doctor's like getting weird readings. So inside, Ruth is like things are going on in her head, and it's all sorts of voices, and she just can't. And then she looks at this thing on the wall, and it says like "smash in case of emergency." And it's that, remember the chameleon arc from earlier in Doctor Who where it can make a Time Lord a human and they forget all about it? And the Doctor had previously hidden their doctorness in a pocket watch?
Yeah.
Okay, similar thing.
Which is great. I think it's actually a cool idea.
I like the idea. It's good for twists. So Ruth, is having that moment similar to the Master had when they were Dr. Yana. And Ruth smashes the thing and... Time Lord energy comes out and starts to like fill her, and
wait, who's Ruth? Wait, specifically who's Ruth in this?
Who is Ruth?
Yeah, because
I'm about to reveal.
I forgot.
Ruth is the woman that the Doctor has been hanging out with this episode.
Oh, just this episode.
Yes.
Okay.
So the Doctor's scanning and like starts digging under the yard in Ruth's house. And Ruth is... Oh, I didn't mention. Ruth is a wonderful character. She's this... she's a black woman. She's wonderful, and it pissed the chuds off. So the Doctor starts digging, and then there's a reveal, and the Doctor looks down, and there's a police box buried under the yard. And she turns around, and Ruth is there in a fucking awesome outfit. Hold on, let me show you this outfit. Ruth, Doctor... This is like one of the better Doctor Who outfits I've seen, like, in years.
Ooh.
This is awesome. Look at that.
A preview here. I don't know if you moved on the stream, but yeah.
Yeah, I put it on stream. That's great.
Ooh,
so Jodie turns around, and she's like, hello, I'm the Doctor. And then they show her TARDIS is the best TARDIS design since 2005. It's like a... It's sort of like the classic one, but redone.
Yeah, no,
it's
I like that.
Awesome. I love this.
The reveal was that I am the Doctor. Ruth is the Doctor.
Ruth is the Doctor. But here's the part that's...
They're retconning it?
Here's the part that's bad! Here's the part that I don't like!
So they teased it, and they tried to do it, and they didn't go through with it.
You think, oh, she's a future Doctor. She's gonna, either be the next one or she's some sort of amorphous. She could be the 500th Doctor. Who knows? Who cares, right? No.
Okay.
So we get to the season finale, and it is revealed that the Time Lords didn't naturally develop regeneration. The Doctor is not Gallifreyan. The Doctor... appeared on Gallifrey, fell out of the sky from an interdimensional portal onto Gallifrey, and she already had infinite regenerations. The Time Lords then experimented on her, and that's how they got regenerations. By finding baby the Doctor and experimenting on her.
No, you gotta undo that.
That's terrible. Oh,
that's terrible.
And... Ruth is not, in fact, a future Doctor. Ruth is a previous Doctor. William Hartnell is not the first Doctor. There have been hundreds of Doctors, potentially, previous to the Doctors we know. But they kept... The Time Lords periodically would wipe their memory. So when we meet the first Doctor in 1962, he's just had his memory erased, and that's why he thinks he's the first Doctor.
Nah, you just gotta get rid of that.
Yeah, this is it's fucking garbage. It is fucking terrible.
That's like, this is, for those who don't watch Doctor Who, this is pretty equivalent to going back to, like, Superman's backstory and saying he's not actually a Kryptonian. There were other Kryptonians, and they experimented on that and then injected Clark Kent Superman with Kryptonian juice, and they just pretended he was an alien. Like, it's just getting rid of the point. And also, like, a huge element of the Doctor's character is the Doctor is just a Gallifreyan. They could have been anyone, but the Doctor happens to be a good person who decided, unlike the rest of their species, to go out into the universe and explore and do good. Right. It's just the mad person with a box. That's the whole deal. Which is kind of the idea behind your D&D character as well. Which is kind of like the one person who sounded like a kook, but was right. Yeah. And needed to, like, save people, but needed to, like, sort of, like, get divorced from that community to do so. Yeah, I think that's a good story, and that makes...
And like, now all of a sudden, it's like the Doctor's like the chosen one, origin of the Gallifreyans.
And especially like the 50th anniversary... The 50th anniversary, where you have the three Doctors, you have the War Doctor, you have Tennant, and you have Smith, and how broken up they are about killing their own people. Yeah, not really, but kind of locking them in like a time prison with the moment, and like that just totally gets rid of like the gravity of that decision and the trauma that 9, 10. And 11, and to some extent 12 go through for that. Like, what's the fucking... That's just so... Did anyone get, like, at BBC go, like, this is probably not a thing we should allow. This is...
I hope they retcon this retcon, or just ignore it and never mention it again, because it's awful.
I think you just ignore it. I think you just be like...
Here's the good news. All this exposition, and by the way, not only is the concept bad, but the way this episode exposits this is terrible. It's literally the new master, and I actually like the new master, Sasha. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Sasha
Baron Cohen.
Whatever his name is. He's the new master in this. It's never explained if this is a master that's pre-Missy or whatever. I would hope so, because he's back to being just evil again with no explanation. It's fine. It's the master. That doesn't bother me too much.
Timey-wimey.
But the master exposits this whole thing. And when I say exposits this whole thing, I don't mean like through the course of the episode, this is drip-fed to you. I mean, it's like a 30-minute sit down, the doctor sits there and listens to the master just exposit this story over footage of it happening. It's awful, and it really just felt like Chris Chibnall had a fan theory or like a fan fiction that he wanted to make canon. Like, Moffat would do this to some extent too, but Moffat would do it in littler ways, in ways that actually benefited the canon in interesting ways. For instance, Moffat, when he was just a fan, his fan canon was that we get the word doctor from the doctor, not the other way around.
Right. No,
that was fan Moffat, canon that he made canon, and like, okay,
Moffat
that's
has
interesting.
Cool ideas like that, where
and it's just a little lore thing. This is a complete retcon. This is Chibnall being like, this 60-year-old franchise, fuck it, it's mine now. I get to completely change the fabric and meaning of the show. So
unless you have some sort of like.
Oh, an insult to injury, by the way. You know how in the 50th anniversary they saved Gallifrey? Gallifrey's back, people! The Master destroys Gallifrey again at the end of the last episode.
Just destroys it.
He genocides the Gallifreyans and destroys the planet.
Brother, can I have some loop?
So yeah, the last season's bad.
Did you see the new kitty got a name? I think you did.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? It was all over Twitter, but I'm surprised. New kitty got a name. It just happened because he's just started to be a person. It's Miko.
Cute.
Like the raccoon from Pocahontas. Because he eats constantly.
Cute.
Just always eating. He's super cute, and he is allowing scritches now, and he's like becoming friends with Ellie, and he's starting to slowly branch out. For those who don't know, we got a new kitty cat. And he's a rescue from No Kill Shelter over here. That's really great. And he had been there for a year, but he's 2. So we think in the beginning of his life, the first year of his life, roughly, that people did not treat him very well because he does not really care for people. And he is very shifty about stuff. But he started to come around. I have given him pets. Sarah's really, she's in that office a lot. So she's really been able to get in some good loving, and yeah, he's really cute. There's pictures of him on Sarah's Twitter if you want to look at it.
Cool.
It's super cute. He's so floof. He is not lovey like that though. Looking forward to it.
Lou loves cuddles, and her sister have been getting along better recently, so that's good.
That's good. Yeah, Ellie and Miko have started to like sort of play a little bit, so that's cool.
Oh, one more Doctor Who thing. Next year is the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who.
The 50th was just yesterday.
Was 10 years ago. Almost 10 years ago.
10 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
We're old.
We are. So, I think they need to do, and this would be hard because they'll have a brand new showrunner, a brand new doctor, bring back, and now Christopher Eccleston is on good terms with Doctor Who again because he's doing the audios. 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and whatever the new Doctor's gonna be.
Bring them back!
Do the 6 Doctors! Come on!
For the
Do
60th?
it, you fucking cowards!
Do it!
The 6
Doctors
Doctors!
for the 60th anniversary and undo all of the bad.
Yep.
That should be the first episode back. Undo all the shitty stuff.
Honestly, at least there's a good avenue, easy avenue for it, because it was all exposited by the Master. All they have to do is be like, oh, you believed that? Your greatest enemy ever, who's a known liar, told you a ridiculous story about the origin of the Time Lords and you believed it? Cool. Like...
Yeah. Especially because, like, there's, like, genuine evidence within the series for the Doctor being the origin of, like, the meaning of the Doctor, like this, like, all of the, what's that, I forget what it was called at the time. the Amy Pond stuff, but it was called something specific.
The Impossible? No, that was
Devil's Run. The Devil's Run stuff, but like whatever the fuck. There was like a name for it. I don't remember the time. It's
the crack in the wall stuff.
Yeah, the crack in the wall stuff. But maybe that's the name I'm thinking of. But yeah, all the crack in the wall stuff. Of that the prophecy of the Doctor like fulfilling that like
the Demon's Run.
The Demon's Run thing, yeah. And
where a good man goes to war,
right? And just like there's so many like the silent stuff was big with it. I don't know. It just you can't take that away. So yeah, it's got to be a situation. Well, no, there's Bad Wolf with Rose and 9 and 10. So.
I like a lot of Moffat stuff, but I stand by that Russell T Davies had the absolute best series-long arcs. Bad Wolf was subtle. It was stuff in the background. It all tied together, but it wasn't overwhelming.
The Eccleston seasons didn't have enough of a budget to not be like real campy, but Tenet is just like the more I sit with it, the more Tenet stands out because I agree. There's like subtle shit that happens on rewatch that is different from the Matt Smith sort of like manic stuff. Although I do think Matt Smith is fantastic. He's still like you introduced me with Matt Smith, and so there's still like always going to be that little bit where like the Amy Pond stuff was just like pretty perfect. They really nailed a lot of that stuff. And I still think his death is better than Tennant's, even though Tennant's death is really good. The story around the death is better, I think, than although Tennant's moment might be better. Well, Tennant's I Don't Want to Go is probably better, but I think the build up is better.
I like that Matt Smith's Doctor, considering he was a Doctor who all along was like an old man in a young man's body, right. And he was already ancient by the time he regenerated into him. And then he actually ages up in real time from his perspective into an old man Gallifreyan, which takes right. a long time for Gallifreyans to actually get old. So he had to have been thousands and thousands of years older at that point. I don't know. It's fitting for his character to grow old in that body.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I think the build-up was better.
Yeah. Guys, if you haven't seen Doctor Who, go watch Doctor Who. It's good. Most of it's good. The way I explain it is this. Try and start in 2005 with Christopher Eccleston. There's some rough spots, especially the fart alien episodes are pretty bad. But the rest of the season I actually think holds up relatively well, except for fart aliens.
Yeah, I'd say just understand that the budget's low at the beginning and look at it more of like a YouTube series that got picked up.
Sure. And then... And by the way, by the time season 2 comes along, it gets really, really great. So keep with it. But if you can't for some reason, then start in series 5 when Matt Smith comes along, because they intentionally made it a jumping on point where if you know nothing about Doctor Who, you can start there. And
that's where I started, and then I went back and watched, and it worked just fine for me. So yeah,
it's an interesting way to watch too, because I only started watching Doctor Who when that happened because BBC America put out a huge ad campaign at the time, So if you start Doctor Who in Series 5, history, like, oh, who is this person? What's the deal with all this stuff? And then you can go back later.
And they shoot it like that, too. Yeah. They literally shoot the episodes like, what the fuck's going on? And the fish fingers and custard thing, like, it was such a brilliant move to make that, like, kind of part of the character forever.
Yeah.
As soon as they did that, like, it's just always that sort of, like, humanizing, sort of weird little point that... It's one of these small things that Moffat does right when he doesn't get too big for his own britches. But yeah, that's good. And then no matter what happens, whichever way you do it, you must watch Tenet. If you skip it, you must.
Oh, absolutely. I still think Eccleston's
I think you should watch
great.
Eccleston. I think you should, especially for the context that you're given with Tenet and Rose and stuff.
Oh, and frankly, just this once everybody lives is one of the best Doctor Who moments in the entire show.
Really
I think
it really is. You don't get that without Eccleston. So
plus Jack Harkness is great.
Yeah. So. Well, I was gonna say, and then the companions during Tennant's run, which Rose is fine. She's not my favorite, and I think there's a lot of problems with the from my perspective, the Mickey relationship is weird to me. But Donna is like so fucking amazing. I love Donna so much.
Yeah.
Every time I rewatch, she stands out, and yeah. And then obviously Jack Harkness, bisexual king.
I wouldn't say he's more. I was gonna say pans. Yeah. I think he's fucked robots and aliens. He'll fuck
robots. Yeah. He's just sexual. He's great.
Have you heard of the Jack Harkness test, by the way?
No.
This is how you determine if you can fuck something from another species or
Jack
dimension.
Harkness fuck it?
Yeah, it's like a 3-factor test. It's like, is it sapient and sentient in the sense that it like can understand what's going on? Can it consent? Like, can you communicate with it and consent? And is it of sexual maturity for its species? That's the 3-factor Jack Harkness test.
Those are the standards that I have as well.
And
for my own species. So
someone pointed out in I think a Tumblr post about it. They go, just not to harsh anybody's buzz here, but Scooby-Doo falls into the okay to fuck it based on this test.
Well, assuming he consents. He can. But assuming he does. Wow. Okay. Well, I've played New Vegas 400 times, and those references have gone right over my head. There's several Doctor Who references in New Vegas.
In Fallout 1 or 2, I don't remember 2, you can find the TARDIS.
Oh, really? Like it's like a
it's the TARDIS, and once you approach it, it does the thing. It dematerializes.
That's great.
There's a really great mod for New Vegas too that I played a lot back in the day. Called Fallout Who Vegas, and it gives you a TARDIS that you actually have to repair, and it's a lot of fun. I'd recommend it.
They have that in Skyrim as well. I remember.
Yep, correctly. I've used the Skyrim one. I really like, because like I use fast travel a lot in games anyway. Not that I never walk around, it's great, but sometimes you just want to fast travel, so I like to flavor it that way. Or if I'm playing, now I play professor characters a lot in games because I find that fun. It's a character I already have the mindset of in terms of like role playing, so why not? So downloading those mods and just in my head pretending it's the Hartnell, it's a lot of fun.
If the new Baldur's Gate 3 game, which is a D&D game, if Baldur's Gate 3 adds Tritons, I will 100% be playing a Warlock Triton named Molus. So I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. I really hope that. If not, it needs to be modded because I need that in my life.
Yeah. I just hope the next. I know I can't play the next Bethesda game on PlayStation because they're not going to release for PlayStation now, but.
Bethesda's not?
Microsoft bought them.
Yeah, I forgot they bought them, yeah.
Which is a crazy acquisition, but at least I can play them on PC, or that if the Stream Deck is popular. The Stream Deck looks awesome. I'm really into that. I kind of hope it
I have
works.
a Stream Deck.
No. You know what I mean. God damn it. Steam Deck.
Yeah. I'm probably going to get an Xbox at some point, but I have a PlayStation right now, and I don't really play games enough to warrant both of them at this point, but I'll probably have one at some point.
Bougie.
Do you not have one yet?
I don't have a PlayStation 5 yet. No, I still haven't been able to find one. At this point, because we got approved for the house and everything, if I found one, I actually could buy one now, but I just haven't been able to find them. Hold on, let me look. PS5 stock tracker. In the last year and a half, I've found myself on a page where they're in stock exactly once. Yep, out of stock everywhere except for eBay, where they're getting scalped, and I would never give a scalper money.
Never do that.
$800. Go fuck yourself.
I got mine from, I think, GameStop by just refreshing and sitting there. Or maybe it was Best Buy. It was one of the two. And I got very lucky. But I was just sitting there one night, and I almost quit. And I got it. And I love playing my sportsers on there. Sports and doing more sports. It looks amazing. You've never seen a clearer bead of sweat in your life in a video game.
Gnarlson News says, I feel a lot less incentive to buy the next-gen consoles. Honestly, for me, it's not even... Because right now, there's no, like, killer apps in terms of, like, there's no game...
Killer apps.
You know what I mean? There's no, like, one game that I'm like, oh, I gotta get a PlayStation 5 to play that game. It's more just about quality of life stuff. For one thing, my PlayStation is, like... It's on its last legs. Like, I'll still probably use it as a Blu-ray player in a different room or something than my main room, but for gaming, I've beat that thing to death with how often I play video games. So, It's more about, I need a new one anyway. The PlayStation 5 apparently is quieter and runs cooler. The loading times, because of the SSD, are way faster. There's ray tracing and stuff. Like, it's not so much a big leap as much as it is just like a bunch of little quality of life improvements that it's to me it's less like when I was a kid and it was like, oh my god, the new console's coming out. It's this huge leap, and more like
adults now, you know.
Also that, but I also think we're getting sort of diminishing returns to an extent. It's more like every 2 years I get a new phone, and it's like, yeah, it's still mostly the same thing, but there's some new features. It runs a little better.
Yeah. I will say the biggest leap that I have seen in PlayStation 5, besides the obvious graphical improvements over, it's a console that I play on PC. And
PS5 does have backwards compatibility, Panacea.
Yeah. Which definitely is a good thing. I don't have a lot of physical stuff, but I have old stuff that I can play on there that's really nice. And by the way, this is a shout out to the Mad Max game. It's super cheap right now, and you will not get more bang for your buck out of a game than a $4 Mad Max game. It's so good.
I love that game.
That game is so fun. I haven't beaten it. I just always start replaying it. I don't know. But I probably download that once a year and play it for about 2 months.
I wish that game had done a little better, because that's one game that I think DLC would have been really cool for. Opening different areas, new cars.
They pushed it really hard, too, with the Rockstar campaign at gas stations and shit. I remember that. But it's really, really good. I will say the two things I noticed. Number one, is definitely the solid state drive. It just boots up super quick. And then number two, the processor in it. I don't know if anybody plays sports games, but they are usually kind of a graphically intense thing. Like you can hear your machine going whoa, if you play for a while.
If I'm kind of like I play Red Dead Online a lot, and that happens.
I was gonna say like online games, and it is an online game. I don't play online a lot though. I mean, just doing it just because it's so like they really get down. Usually they map faces and shit. And it's a lot. It used to be a point where you'd press start and you'd wait for it to load, and there'd be like music playing, and it'd take like a minute or two. I press start and it starts, and I'm in the game, and that is so different from my experience. And then every game. Red Dead is much better on there. It's the Spider-Man game is just beautiful. Like the snow and the way the snow physics work in the Miles Morales Spider-Man game is like you just kind of want to look at it.
Yeah. By the way, another thing that's harder to get across through videos and stuff, you had me play it for a little bit. The haptic feedback and adaptive triggers are awesome.
Oh wow!
Like if when you, for those who don't know, with the PlayStation 5, I don't know if the new Xbox has this. I'd hope so because it's a cool feature and I want everyone to have it. It's awesome.
It feels so good.
It feels like as big of a change in terms of features from when like Rumble was first introduced. You know what I mean? This feels like a thing that needs to become standard. So when you push the triggers, they can push back. So like if you're shooting a gun in a game, you'll feel like you're shooting the gun, like you're pulling the trigger. In the Spider-Man game, you can kind of feel the resistance as you shoot the webs. It's great.
And it rumbles all around the pad very specifically. It feels just really, and it's like little, it's not like they used to be. It's like, I don't know, it's haptic. It's probably the best haptic experience that I've had in any with any controller situation ever. It's awesome, and it makes me look forward to the VR gaming scene because if you can apply this to like gloves or something. And
have you seen the design for the PlayStation VR 2 is coming out? Did you see they released the controller? What it looks like? Oh, it's so great. Have you played PSVR?
I have not. Well, no, I played it at your house
because I had it at one
last gen at your house.
I had it at one point. And it was a really good like proof of concept, but like the PlayStation 4 was absolutely not built to play these kind of games. And it used the Move controllers, which didn't even have thumbsticks on them. Huge pain in the ass. But now they're building PSVR 2, from the ground up. And this is the controller.
Oh,
and it tracks your individual fingers. So when you move your fingers, you can actually have hands in the game that... Oh, wait, did I switch the screen so everyone can see it? Hold on.
I don't know.
Yeah, there it is. So anyway, it tracks your fingers. So if you're doing this, the game can track that. So games where you have hands, you can actually have your hands in the game and have all your fingers individually tracked. So something like Surgeon Simulator or any game where you're using your hands, you know. Very cool.
Yeah, I don't like Soulsborne stuff. I don't even like the aesthetic of it, really, to be honest. That looks really interesting.
Yeah.
Are those like, so that must like, those, I'm assuming there's a bunch of sensors in there to determine like how you're oriented and stuff. That's interesting. Yeah, once you can get that, just something you slip over your hand and like maybe you wear a vest or something, and then if they have the omnidirectional pads you can walk on, everyone's gonna have abs and we're all gonna play video games and do nothing else, because we're gonna be burning all the calories, walking around in every virtual world, and we'll never give a shit about anything. It's gonna turn into Ready Player One.
Skyrim VR is awesome. Have you played Skyrim VR?
No.
Even with
I like Skyrim.
Even with the shitty move controls, I've never felt a more... And I like everyone, my favorite kind of character in Skyrim is Sneaky Archer.
It's the only thing that feels good in that game. But it feels
the
really
level
good.
Of satisfaction when you're in VR and you're really into it,
like,
and you knock an arrow and you actually do it? And you actually have to aim it and release it. Oh my god, you've never felt something that fucking awesome. And maybe when you're in let's say you're in a close quarters fight,
can I get
you feel like
PlayStation 5?
What?
Can I get it for PlayStation 5?
You can, yes. You feel like fucking Legolas too, and I haven't even seen the Lord of the Rings movies really. But like, if some people are rushing you can like quickly, whoosh, 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 and then if they get near you, hit them with the bow. Like, it's awesome. I've never felt so fucking awesome.
Do the blades like follow your movements?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You can like fight people in front of you and beside you at the same time if you're dual wielding. It's so intuitive. The movement isn't with PSVR because again, there aren't thumbsticks, so to move you have to like use one of them as a joystick almost, and that's terrible. But the combat is so good. Like, when PlayStation VR 2 comes out with those controllers, I'll probably play Skyrim VR again once, I assume they'll update it so you can use those controls. Great game.
Yeah, I might wait for that.
Oh, maybe not, though, because they might not update it, because Microsoft, so why would they spend money to update it?
Well, maybe they'll have something, they could have something that's not a Bethesda game and do that, probably, but... You figure out the field of use does make you sick. I found that they were very comfortable, and I use corrective lenses, obviously. And I found the headset visual range to be very nice. It doesn't feel strainy at all, even though it's like right in front of your face. I think it's just how it focuses. So, yeah, it's really cool. Oh, Skyrim specifically? Oh, I don't know about that.
Also, VR porn is the bomb. So,
never tried it. I'm not a porn frequenter. It's okay though. Maybe I would be.
Probably the end.
Probably the end. Oh wait, did you see these things that Brooke made me? I don't know if you actually saw.
I don't think so. Hey, those are awesome. Those are so cute.
Got this one. And last but not least, this is not an emote. The rest are emotes on my Twitch channel, but this one is not an emote on my Twitch channel. I don't think it would be okay. It says creamed corn.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. I don't know how I feel about that one.
Oh. He's been a very good cop. He deserves his rewards.
Alright, everyone. I'm about to go stream in just a couple minutes over on my Twitch channel, so here's a link to that. If you want to jump over there, we'll be doing Chud Watch. We're going to watch John Doyle's newest video, Peter's newest video, and some other stuff.
Is it John Doyle's newest video from, is it again, like this week, or?
It's this week. He released a video on DeSantis.
Oh, did you see his Man on the Street video?
Yes. What is wrong with him?
He's so bad. That was not content. There was nothing there. No. It was really bad. And he was like manic the whole time. Like, hey, bro.
I think even some of his audience was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, are you okay? I think it's just because he's on his own for the first time. He just moved out of his parents' house and moved to Texas. I think he's just having that, like, I'm on my own thing, but, you know, he's overdoing it. He's probably over...
Daddy Sume approves. Thanks for the $2 dues.
All right, so thanks everyone. Did you have anything else you wanted to say before I go and stream?
No, go enjoy the streams.
Right.
And we will do more of this. We've been burnt out on shit. It's just hard. We've been doing this shit for a long time, and so I think the just hanging out and do whatever the fuck we want is exactly how it should go. I think at this point, just like we'll do the stuff when we want to do it, and we do want to do it. Like I'm looking forward to some movie reviews and stuff, but like sometimes you just want to like I don't know. Our community is different now. I like that. I like the I don't know. I like the conversationals. I like it. I like being able to hang out, being able to be around each other and do the thing and not have to. I don't know.
We definitely need to have
this
like
doesn't
you and I
feel
need to
like
have
a chore.
No, we need to have like an epic in-person hangout day before I move.
Yeah,
I mean, we're still
100%.
gonna hang out. I'm only an hour and a half away, and I'm gonna be coming for D&D and stuff anyway. But like, we should have like a rad hangout day before I actually move. Get some snacks, maybe order pizza or something, and watch.
Maybe order. We're definitely getting snacks. We're definitely ordering pizza. These are things that are happening. Yeah. Yeah. Just let me know a day, and I will make it happen.
Cool.
So yeah. All right. We love your faces.
Yep. Join me again over on twitch.tv/HannahReloaded. Like, follow, subscribe.
I might stream tonight, but I'm going to the weed store, so I'll probably stream tomorrow. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know if it's gonna work out, but we'll see what happens. Also, I didn't sleep for shit last night. I literally, when you texted me, I didn't respond right away. I figured I should take some time to let my brain wake up. I woke up at about 1:40, but I fell asleep at like 9:30, 10. So, yeah, my sleep schedule is fucking destroyed. I am so tired right now. But I'm not gonna let myself sleep till later.
Ooh, I just got documents to sign for the house in my email.
DocuSign. Who loves a DocuSign?
Yeah.
Anyway, who's seasoned the corn? Yeah, you see, these are seasonings. This is a seasoning. And this is a seasoning, and then this is the cheese. It's a lote.
I love cheese. Everyone knows I love cheese.
Who doesn't love cheese?
Okay, and good. Okay, we're done.
Daddy's little cheese.
No. End of stream. End of stream.